Warning, this podcast contains grown-up subjects and big boy words. It is intended for adults only, but we won't tell on you if you don't tell our grandmas how many swears we did.
Welcome to Only Mostly Thread, where three creative professionals thread our way through the frightening force of peculiar posts, attempt to answer curious questions, and dive deep into Reddit's reserves, all to bring something special to you. I'm your hairiest host, Devin Hoy.
I'm your metal musician and resident asshole, Lily Taylor.
And I'm Sarah. And I should probably say I'm a resident writer, because I was thinking about that and I was like,
that.
you know, listening back to our episodes, and I was like, well, do I do nothing except have anxiety?
I mean, I do nothing except have hair.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
I should say that I'm your...
Furry film guy?
Well, that means something else.
Does it give you other connotations?
It does.
I think, but it's been like noted before. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm that gal with anxiety. So, you know.
Well, you can say resident writer, because metal musician already is an alliteration. Yeah. So that's fun. Yeah. And resident writer is fun. I'll just find something. I'm your vivacious videographer.
All right, cool.
Wow.
Next
Figure
week,
something out.
we're coming in hot next week with some amazing alliteration.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Extra hot.
So
because
hot.
I'll be sweating.
In his furry costume.
I have a question for you.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
What's the difference between a tuna, piano, and a pot of glue?
Something with... No. I was going to say something with like tuning.
You can tune a piano, but you can't piano a tuna.
I got it half right. That's
I
great.
don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, I get it.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
No offense.
Very not good. No. It's not good. Offense.
I was expecting at least one of you to say, what about the pot of glue? Did you just forget about the pot of glue?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I was thinking about tuning and then I got excited.
No
that
hesitation.
I was
We're
kind of
yep.
right. Yeah.
One of you supposed to say, what about the pot of glue? And then I would say, I knew you'd get stuck on that.
Oh, no. That was really bad. That was such a bad joke.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be funny that it was bad in execution, and it didn't even get executed.
Nope. It did get executed.
Yeah, we executed that shit.
So I know that we were talking about Twitter last time, but we got together, and I happened upon today, probably because I was listening this morning to the news, and Twitter is being sued because they haven't paid their rent and their headquarters since Elon Musk took over.
What?
I'm not even kidding. They're literally being sued by their landlord.
Did he fire the person who's supposed to do that?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, he has like
based on the past behavior.
No housekeeping, no logistics, nobody doing anything. They're probably missing so many things. Imagine the taxes.
In my mind, I'm just like, Elon, like, what kind of costs do you think that you're allowed to cut here? Like, you can't just not pay people to rent their space.
I mean, I have a suspicion that I've suspected ever since he was really butthurt and tried to get back out of the deal and was sued over that, I think, and wasn't allowed. I think he's just trying to get rid of his ownership of Twitter.
Oh, 100%. He wants out of that.
But nobody's going to spend what he spent on it.
No.
Yeah, no. Well,
he's never going to recoup those costs.
He's going to burn it to the ground and move on like a rich person does.
Yep.
Imagine.
Who's ready to nut?
Let's nut.
Always ready for a nut.
It's nutting time.
Nothing's better than a nut. Nothing's better than nutting time. Ain't nothing better than nut time.
Nothing's better than nutting.
Wow. I mean, that's true. Like, if you think about it, it's literally, yeah, that's a fact.
Can't think of nothing better than a nutting with a nut. Never mind, cut that. I should have stopped while I was behind.
Stop while you're behind.
Stop while she's behind the nut.
Yeah, I'm like so rarely ahead that I mostly just end up stopping while I'm behind.
Oh, no.
All right. So we're going to nut, but I'm torn between two to do for the first one. Okay. So the two categories we have are music or boomers.
Okay, is the music like pop culture, well, song knowledge, or is it knowledge of music as like a craft?
No, of
It's gotta be pop
knowledge of
culture-y.
songs that exist.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
because it's an
okay.
Ask Reddit.
Oh yeah, duh. Okay.
The very specific Ask Reddit that was like, music producers. What do you think of this?
I don't know. I could go either way. Boomers are always fun, but I say it's up to you guys because I'm going to be biased towards music probably. I almost said boomers. I thought about it really hard. Biased towards boomers.
I'm biased towards boomers. I'm not afraid to say it.
Let's do boomers. Let's do boomers. I mean,
Okay.
they both sound like a lot of fun.
Well, maybe we could just do both of them and not do the third one that I had in mind.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Oh, Jesus. Posted by Karen the Managa. What was great advice 20 years ago, but definitely isn't now? Man, I don't even know. There's so much bad advice.
The only thing I could think of to categorize this without giving away the question was just boomers, because they were giving advice 20 years ago. And maybe they're giving the same advice right now.
Probably. I feel like I am biased with this because I don't know. I feel like I'm going to go in a very like, I don't know, like I usually do with these and just pick something that works for me and I don't really care about anybody else.
I know, that's all I keep thinking about.
I mean, you took a quick lead on the scoreboard by doing that.
This is true.
The one that I'll throw down is just walk in and hand them a resume.
Oh, damn it. That's so
See,
good.
I was going to say something job related as well, but mine is stay at the same job forever. They'll reward longevity or loyalty.
Oh, yeah. That's terrible advice now. The advice is
You
like,
have to hop, otherwise you won't. Like where I'm working now, I feel like that's not necessarily the case, but that's only right now. Like, I don't know. I feel like you kind of just have to go with whatever, but like you can't just stay at a job because you think that they care about you, because usually that's not the case.
Yeah, I feel like the average young person, I guess like under 30, under 40, stays at a job for like 1.5 years. I heard something like that.
Wow.
And it used to be that, yeah, you would want to find like your forever home. Although I wouldn't want to call work home, but.
no. I heard that you're supposed to jump like every 5 years.
Yeah, so it doesn't get stagnant. Because honestly, it's difficult because I feel like you don't want too many jobs because you don't want to seem like a job hopper, but at the same time, like you don't want to look sedentary either. So
I think it depends where you work because I like finance bros and like people who I don't know what kind of job you get if you just majored in strictly business, but I know like
a lot of different things.
Business.
Yeah, whatever. So there are certain jobs where like it makes sense to just move every single year and just like climb the corporate ladder. That's like
100%, because business
strategy.
you can use for so many different things. And I feel like the same is true for like HR. Like, I don't know, a lot of different things. I feel like when an opportunity presents itself, like you shouldn't not take it just because like I'm loyal to my company.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like that mentality creates such a toxic work environment when you do have a company that's like, you need to be loyal. Like they're bitches about it. I would say that's my answer, is the whole stay at your job forever, be loyal.
Okay, that's 2 job ones.
Well, while we were talking about that, guess how much like thinking about this I did.
Enough thinking to have a really good top 10 answer.
I feel like you guys gotta have really good answers. Something like with buying a house. I mean, it's
I know,
not
I
like
was
it's
thinking
not
about
good
that too.
advice. Like if I could buy a house, I would. But
Yeah. Financials are something that I do feel like that generation, so I don't want to say doesn't grasp as a whole, but at the same time, like whenever we were buying our house, I was telling my grandma how much our house was, and she was like, that seems like a lot. And I was like, that's because you live in Nowheresville, Pennsylvania, and
Bought your house
how much did
a
you
long
pay
time
for your
ago.
house? Like it wasn't like a ridiculously long time ago, but like there are people who paid like $25,000-$30,000 for a house just like ours, like 50 years ago. So I feel like at that point you've sort of lost perspective.
So we're buying cars for as much as they buy houses for.
100%. That's exactly what's happening. We're buying cars for more than that sometimes.
yeah,
It's pretty ridiculous. And it's
That's
interesting that minimum wage is still so fucking low considering how much inflation has happened since then. Like it's
An
absolutely
interesting word
ridiculous.
you used as interesting. That's
Yeah.
a lot of other adjectives too.
I was trying to be kind, which I don't often do. So take it for what it is.
They don't deserve it.
No, they don't.
So whenever I read 20 years ago, my head still goes, that's the 80s somehow.
I know.
I guess that was early 2000s.
It's 2003.
Yeah,
This isn't really a boomer question.
Yeah, so I was wrong. This is 2003. This is a yellow card Ocean Avenue question.
Yeah, I mean, but the kind of advice I was getting in 2003 was like, no, Sarah, don't eat that. It's paint. You're in first grade, you know? Just making sure people know that I wasn't like 14 years old in 2002 and I was still maybe going to eat something like paint. All right.
So how old were you in 2002?
Second grade.
How old are you, Sarah?
Wait.
29.
Second grade. How old are you in second grade?
All right. Well, I wasn't eating paint that late. I think you're like 9. All right.
Oh, okay.
Bad example. Bad example.
She ate too much paint. Now she can't remember.
Exactly.
That's clearly what it is.
Exactly. But I'm not old enough that the paint was lead, at least. I don't know, man. In 2003.
I don't even know.
I misinterpreted this question as 40 years ago on accident.
Well, what was yours?
Mine was just walk in and hand him a resume.
I feel like that could still be on there. Because, like, the internet wasn't what it is in 2002, you know? I think you still did, like, a lot of stuff in person, and making a good impression was still, like, everything.
I still feel like the job thing tracks. Because I still feel like that was advice that I was given 20 years ago. Well, I wasn't personally given because my parents were like, do whatever's right for you, which I think is great advice.
Yeah, you were still in grade school.
Yeah, I think actually the kind of advice I was given 20 years ago was like, make sure you practice your cursive a lot because it's all you're ever going to use.
Also, I feel like advice back then was go to college. And I feel like
I was thinking about that, but I don't know if that's going to be on here. That was like my first thought was like, get a degree and everything else will fall into place.
Oh, yeah. God, yeah. Like that part of it. Like, oof.
Get a degree right out of high school, then get married and buy a house right after that. And then you'll be perfect for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
For me personally, I would say the bad advice was have kids. And I'm glad I didn't listen.
Full stop. Yeah. Full stop. I mean, that sounds like 3 different answers.
I guess I'm all right with the college one.
All right. Well, I guess I don't know what I'm going to stick with because I think mine is like super archaic, the job
I
thing.
mean, it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I guess I'll stick with it because I don't want to think of anything else.
Because while we weren't getting that advice 20 years ago, we know about that advice. Mm-hmm. So like it has to have happened while we were growing.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. And when I was like first getting right out of college and when I was still in college, because I was in college for like 7 years because I went to a lot of different colleges. But when I was in college, it was more like 5 years, more like 5 to 7 years. And then when I first interviewed for our job, Devin, in like 2017, I was asked, can I make a 5-year commitment? So I think it's been getting shorter over the last like decade or two. So I do, Lily, I think that's still a good answer.
Okay. I'm
you
going to
were
stick
asked
with
to
it.
make a 5-year commitment?
Well, he didn't say I had to, but he was like, we're looking for someone that can be here for 5 years. Guess what? I fucking got laid off after 2.5.
Of course.
He couldn't even make a 5-year commitment.
All right.
And you always say, of course, I see myself staying here for 5 years. And honestly, sometimes you will, and sometimes you won't, because life happens and you can't just sit there. If you sit there and hem and haw about it, they're going to think that you're not sure about yourself and you're not sure about where you're going and what you're doing. And like, my personal plans aren't relevant to this job interview. I'm going to do a good job for as long as I'm here. If you want to hire me, then do it. That's your choice.
Well, also, realistically, like they ask you that question, you say yes because it's better to get the job that way. And then in 2 years, if you quit, they're like, hey, you said you were going to be here for 5 years.
Yeah,
and
that's
you're
never
just like,
happened.
You just go, okay, well, then fire me because
exactly. It's not even worth asking a prospective employee that question because, like, I mean, I asked my dad the same thing. I was like, this guy I'm interviewing with, he asked if I could be there for 5 years. He's like, oh, say yes. You might be dead in 5 years. What can he do to stop you?
Exactly.
My dad is like the most Gen Z boomer ever.
All right. Well, are we good with those answers?
Sure.
I forget mine.
All right.
Let's go to college, get a degree. Right. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like mine's not going to be on the top 10, but we're doing it anyway. Let's go. Answer number 1 is by Pangolin Mandolin. to look after your phone battery, you should let it go all the way down to 0% and then charge fully to 100%.
Wow.
I do remember that advice.
I don't remember that advice from 20 years ago, though.
Yeah. And so that you're not supposed to let your phone like die anymore.
I feel like I finally
it does
heard
something
this.
to it, I think.
Yeah, but that was like 4 years ago.
I have no idea. I just charge it when it needs charged. When it
I
yells
just charge
at
it
me.
every night.
Me too.
It's like a weird day if my phone gets below like 25.
Yeah, my phone has died like 4 times ever.
You guys aren't on your phones very much, are you? My phone dies all the time.
What?
Well, I'm on Pokemon Go a lot.
Yeah,
yeah.
that'll do it.
Yeah, if you're on like a really, if
Sucks
I'm
the battery right
shooting
out of it.
something, I have to charge it throughout the day. I just like don't let it die.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I mean, I've only let it die a couple of times, and that was just pure laziness because I was like on the couch downstairs and I didn't want to go upstairs to get the charger.
I feel that. I get that.
That's kind of the source of like a lot of people's problems.
Yeah, laziness.
I don't feel like it.
Inability to move. Yeah. All right. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Coke 8827 said, I remember when my dad told me as a teenager to never be the one to pursue a guy because I'm a woman. Maybe that was to keep me safe in my youth, but I've since come to realize that most of the dudes who are worth being with are either shy or oblivious, and I have no choice but to make the first move.
I'm going to correct that statement and say most dudes, period, are either shy or oblivious. So, and admittedly, like I was given the same advice, I think, at some point, and I just didn't care. So,
Yeah, I've fully pursued every guy always.
Yeah.
I cannot.
It's annoying that they never initiate things, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not fucking waiting for you.
Exactly.
Figure it out,
I'm like,
man.
I've got logistics to work through here. I've got a plan.
Yeah.
And are you fit in them or not? I'll give you the
Right.
option, but like, I can't wait around for you to like figure your shit out. And this has caused
Exactly.
problems in my life.
I fully believe that. Like, that's totally relatable to me.
I don't know if
I
it's
think
good.
that might be confirmation bias because like the guys who are the type to pursue first and make the first move first are often abrasive dickholes who you wouldn't make the first move with anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
that's
you're not
true in my
interacting with that
experience,
pool
too.
of people.
Or it should be a red flag sometimes because they're like too pushy and obnoxious.
Yeah. Or
So-
like creepily confident to the point of like being cocky and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they talk about how your skin would look great on top of his skin. It would be make a wonderful face mask.
And
I
then
feel
you're
like
like,
you're
what,
just talking about movies.
Buffalo Bill? Lily, did you make the first move with Devin?
I did.
Yeah, I'm not
I mean,
surprised.
no one.
I
That
can see that.
surprises no one.
that trap.
Yeah. Devin
was
was like,
playing-
okay.
I was playing Dungeons and Dragons whenever
was.
she asked me out over text, so I
Aw.
was busy.
Is this all the way back?
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
yeah,
back
this
in
is
Pennsylvania.
Forever ago. Yeah.
Aw.
It was in college. I was in a
Yep.
basement. I was playing a Legend of Zelda version of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my
in
God.
basement.
And I don't remember what I asked you, but you didn't answer me right away. And I was like, what are you busy? If you don't want to go, I'll just find somebody else to go.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I
And he
made the
was
first
like,
move
whoa,
too.
whoa, whoa.
So
Oh.
you made the first move, Sarah?
Yeah, a big time.
Oh, what'd you do?
To
Wait,
a
what does
fault.
big time mean?
Did you
Like,
just walk up and kiss him?
Did you knock him out and put him in your trunk
Oh,
and then
no.
slap him awake in a movie theater? Like, we're on a date now.
okay, that was like my backup plan, but what I did was what I don't recommend. But I like commandeered the entire like beginning of the relationship because like I could see what could come, but like he was so young. So I was still in college, but I was like 22 maybe. And he was 19. So, and 18 when I like first met him. So he was like still in high school. And that's like such a big difference when you're that
When you're
age.
that
Yeah.
young.
The gap feels bigger the less years you have on you.
Exactly. I came home from NYU like one weekend. I didn't really know who Hunter was, but like his mom was my gymnastics coach and we were like really close. So I came home to read her like a horror script I was working on. So I like came home to her house and I only knew of her sons in the context of like I've seen them jumping on the trampoline like as little kids during my gymnastics practices. Like they were just like little kids in my mind. I went over to Miss Amy's house, Hunter's mom, and I was reading this script, and Hunter like came downstairs, and it was like, I don't
And
know.
he asked for a juice box.
Yeah. And his, yeah.
Can I have a juice box, Miss Amy?
Miss Amy. Yeah, that's what he calls his
Slash mom.
yeah, I like didn't.
Miss Mother, can I
Miss
have
Mom.
a juice box, please?
Yeah, I like didn't recognize him, and he came downstairs and he like sat across from me, and he was just like listening so intently, and I don't know, it was like a very weird, almost like spiritual connection, and I never had anything
Aw.
like that before. I felt like not nervous, but like then like the room was charged, so I like had this really weird feeling, and also threw everything off with my relationship with his mom. It was very complicated, but at that moment, I like went home and I texted Duda and I was like, oh, I think I'm in love with Hunter. And I usually am not that type of person. I really, truly am not. But yeah, after that, I pretty much decided that we should be together and started working on trying to be together. He did have a girlfriend at the time. Everything was above board, but I definitely like had like intentions. And then he broke up with his girlfriend, and you know, the rest is history.
I'm imagining you like Leslie Knope, Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
Like you decided this needs to happen and then made like binders and plans and like execution dates.
Okay, I have an embarrassing story that I did have. I have done that with someone, but it didn't work out.
Oh my God, did you really?
Yeah, I wrote a book about this person. It didn't work out.
I wonder why.
You're going to Taylor Swift him someday and write an album full of amazing songs about it, I'm sure.
Yeah, except like in the album, I'm like Taylor Swift if Taylor Swift like is so actively obviously half of the problem. You know, like she has that one song where she says, "It's me, hi, I'm the problem," but that's one
Antihero,
song.
yeah.
Yeah, but it would be every album ever would be just, I'm also the problem here. I'm aware of it. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I
Yeah.
think that's a really healthy approach, though, just because, like, and not to get like too serious, but I feel like if you don't like take accountability for like your part in the relationship or a lack of relationship, I
Yeah.
feel like that's really unhealthy. If you're like, oh, it was entirely them, like, you know that there are reasons that you're also responsible for. It's never just one person's fault, you know?
Yeah. I feel like I'm never going to have the chance to expose this, and it is kind of like gold. So if you just hold on one second, hold on.
Sarah has just walked away from her
If you'll
microphone.
just hold on.
Off camera.
Okay.
She is gone.
Hold on.
Oh my God, she's going to show us the book.
She runs back into frame holding something.
Okay, Devin, you're gonna have to blur a little piece out that says this person's name,
Okay.
but it's like too good not to.
Thanks, wonderful work for me.
I'll hold it really steady. I was to the point of like obsession with a childhood friend who I'm really embarrassed if he's listening, but it's fine. I mean, it's not like a secret or anything. He knows all about it. We're on fine terms at this point, but
According to Sarah.
Yeah.
According to Sarah. He's at home like, okay.
he's dead now. Just kidding. All right, so it says. Sorry.
Oh, geez. Stuff
Okay.
got
I
knocked
have to-
over.
Yeah. it's bad.
Operation
WDMM. How many M's are there? 3. Okay,
Three.
so that's
3?
Operation Win, Date, Marry, Multiply.
Oh my God. That is absolutely horrifying. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
Oh,
lie.
no.
I'm tearing up just like realizing this is me. This was me. Yeah, there's phases. Phase 1, objective, best friend status. Phase 2, Outer Banks 2013, objective, win.
At like volleyball?
No, win him, you know?
Yeah, he's the trophy for winning volleyball.
Oh my God. Okay, but that's totally fair. And I feel like that's because you're a writer, because whenever I got really interested in a person, I would like obsessively write songs about them. Like a lot of them have never happened. Some of them did in Lies Inc. and that was fun.
That makes me
But,
feel better.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
this
feel like
is
as
cringy.
an artist, you just kind of like use your media as your outlet kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
I proposed via video.
he did propose via video.
Did you really?
So it all, it all
I
makes
mean,
sense what you're saying.
Technically, you proposed in person, but you made a video and I watched it first.
Right,
so.
right. It was like the whole lead up and everything. Of
That was
course, I
cute.
didn't like ask the question via video, but
Yeah,
then it
that would
was
have been weird.
all of the elements that like led right up to it were video. It's all
And he
whatever.
had like our whole family there, so confidence.
That's
He was
really,
very
really
confident.
sweet.
What if I had said
Yeah.
no? That would have been really embarrassing.
I make a good video and then I put it on YouTube.
And then he just gets
And then she
so
said no.
so much pity views, and then Devin just
I
becomes
know.
Yeah.
a
Backup
celebrity.
plans on backup plans on backup plans. Then I go viral as that guy, and then somebody is like, "Ooh, I want to date that guy." And then
Now I
go,
see. It was
"No."
all a ploy.
Well, I say no because I cannot stand that voice. Please get out.
So RT3-12410 says you need to memorize this because you won't have the info accessible later. I definitely
so
remember
good.
that. That is a really good one.
Man, that makes me think of one that I should have said. Obviously, I couldn't think of it.
The
But
calculator.
like in math, yeah, a calculator in math
Yes.
class that every single time it gets brought up. Like, you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket. Oh, man.
They could not be more wrong.
Somebody underneath him comments that the most important skill isn't knowing the right answer, it's knowing how to find the right answer. And that's gotten much easier.
Yeah.
True.
We eventually like were taught that. Like in the transition between like high school and college, the internet became a much bigger like part of everybody's life. And I do remember like hearing in school, it's a lot more about like using your resources than memorization.
I would bet that most of our listeners are around our age, but just in case anybody is listening or watching who's older than us or younger than us, we had computer lab classes where we were taught like how to Google things and like to use quotes and to use the plus and to use minus in your search queries in order to get the right results, because Google was a fresh new thing and the engine wasn't such that you could just type a question into Google. You had to Google terms. Like, you couldn't be like, who was the 50th president? You had to be like 50th plus president plus United States.
Well, I have you one beat there. I don't even think they were doing that when I was in school. Like, we were
Neither.
still using Yahoo search and stuff. Like,
And Ask
Wow.
Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves. I was thinking that, but I was like, did we use Ask Jeeves in school? I can't remember. Like, whenever I was in elementary school, I remember like the super old computers too, where we played like Oregon Trail.
Yep.
Oregon
Oh,
Trail.
yeah.
Like,
Did you
like-
die of dysentery?
I
Every
probably
time.
did. I
I'm
can't
playing
remember.
Oregon Trail on the Switch right now with Hunter, and we just made it to Oregon 2 nights ago. It was so good.
Aw,
Wow.
That's so
Duda-
romantic.
Yeah, it was. And we put Duda and Moxie in the party, and Moxie was like the whiniest, bitchiest little. He's supposed to be like a
Yeah,
missionary.
that tracks.
Every day, Moxie is forlorn for no reason. He has fresh clothes. I played the harmonica for him, and it's just like
It's like-
he walks with his head down. So like like when they walk through the screen, like walk with the wagon, they can either be walking like this, which means they're happy, or they could be walking like this with like stink clouds coming off them, which says that there's like something wrong with them. Every day, Moxie was walking with his head down, like so grumpy, and I was just like, Duda died. She drowned. We were trying to ford the
Wait,
river.
so-
From falling off
So
the
your
pier.
story,
Okay, a couple of us made it to Oregon.
but Duda finally did fall off the pier and drown.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's what I was
What
thinking.
a full circle story. That's what she gets.
It's all coming together.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, classic prank. I totally endorse the Switch version of the Oregon Trail. It's really fun.
Cool. Maybe we'll have to get it. User Prof Jesus Fish says, in high school, as part of one of my classes, they brought in a lady who worked in HR for some recruiting firm for a few days to teach us how to do resumes and cover letters and such. And she told us, even if a place has an option to apply online, always go in person and pick up an application. No one wants online applications. Seriously. No one takes online applications seriously.
Damn.
I think that counts.
Oh, it
It
totally
does.
counts. I got to get the scoreboard.
7 points.
I'm at 22.
Yeah.
Lily's at 18. Devin's at 32. So
Dang, Devin.
It's always a really tight game, and then somebody snags one of those top 4 answers.
it's anyone's game. It's anyone's nut.
It really is anyone's nut.
I am Babs said, to this day, my mom believes the way to apply for any job is to walk in and hand your future boss. Isn't this the same thing?
It is the
It's
same,
the same thing.
Yeah.
Narcuf F or Narcuf, I don't know. 2945 says it's not really an answer either. I was ready to answer this until I realized 20 years ago was 2002 and not 1992, which
Yeah,
is kind
that
of what we
one
did
will-
a little bit.
Yeah, that one will take off the board.
All right. Dark Shadow 04 says, 20 years ago, don't meet up with people you met on the internet and don't get in cars with strangers. Today, Get into the
That's
car with
so
a stranger that you've summoned to your house using the internet. That is so
How
good.
did we not think of this? Like, that's
That's
a really
so
good
good.
one.
Well, people actually responding to these have as much time as they want to think about it. I just have to say.
It's true. It's very true. We only
That's
have
true.
the few minutes that we take to ponder this.
Yes,
I paste it in the chat and then we go
exactly.
panic answer.
And
That's part of the fun.
some of us get really nervous and really awkward when they're put on the spot. And they
Some
say,
of us just don't nut as well as others, I guess, you know?
that is true too.
I was just gonna say that the sound I make when I nut is
Can confirm.
no, stop it. You can't talk about it. That's gross.
I'm kidding. God.
No, I know that. I mean, I'm allowed to make the jokes and you're not allowed to say anything
Not
about
allowed to
it.
comment? Okay, my bad.
Yeah, you're gross.
I didn't know those were the rules.
Oh, I'm so glad I heard that in my ears today.
All right, next one. Yanks 8190 says, "You're searching for a soulmate on the internet? Lord, you must be insane."
Yeah, that tracks too. But
Damn.
with Tinder and Bumble and Hinge and
Right?
Field and Christian Mingle and
And there's a farmer's one.
Only Farmers.
Right? That one's an interesting commercial.
You don't have to be lonely at onlyfarmers.com.
I've never seen a commercial for Only Farmers. I guess my hometown wasn't rural enough.
I'm pretty sure we saw them on a streaming service, and I have no idea why.
Oh, that's so funny.
Like, what were we watching that made us think that we were farmers that needed love?
Duck Dynasty.
No, it's definitely when we were watching It's Always Sunny. That's probably what did it for us.
There was a dating app episode of Always Sunny, and Charlie's into cheese and ghouls and bees. Little green ghouls.
I need to watch that show.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, it's so good. It's a show that's wonderful as long as you're in on the joke that these
That they
are
all
terrible
suck.
people and not role models. You
Right.
should not empathize with these people.
Right. I just want to say I literally thought of the next answer, but it felt too convoluted. Live Life Real said, spending the whole day on the internet would never make you successful in life. I was going to say, like, don't spend so much time on the internet. Whatever. It's not going to get
Right.
you a job. Damn
Wow.
it.
I was going to say something about social media.
Video games
then I
would
was
also
like,
work because, like, Twitch
Yeah.
streamers and stuff. That's good.
Mhm.
Stagouts says, don't forget to print your directions from MapQuest before you
Oh
leave.
my God.
That was a million years ago,
Well, approximately 20, according to this person.
right? All right, and this will be the last one since the other one wasn't really an answer.
Right.
Jaimeo says, "Stay away from the guy walking down the street having a full conversation with nobody. Now it's just AirPods."
That's a good observation.
Oh, son of a bitch, Sarah. Look at the next one. It was buy that house. Sure would seem weird that you qualified for such a high home loan, but I'm sure they wouldn't offer it to you if you couldn't afford it.
Wow.
Alas.
Well, if you want, since we do descending point orders per comment, if you would like to take -1 points, you can.
quitting.
Excuse me.
If you would like to.
Quit while you're behind. That's good advice. That's always good and will always be good.
All right, who's ready for the second nut?
Let's do it. Let's do the music one.
Another
Man,
helping.
watch me not get this too.
Oh, I don't think any of us are going to get it. Here it is.
Shit.
Nut number 2.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're driving at 150. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody else could read it. My bad.
No, you might as well just do it.
Okay. Posted by Rasua. I don't know. You're driving at 155 miles per hour. What song is playing? I don't know. That's tough. I'm going to say fucking Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins.
That's a good one.
It's not the one I would pick, but I feel like it might be on there.
I know exactly the one that I would pick, and I sure hope it's on there, but it might not be because this is Reddit and not You're the Man Now Dog. But the song I pick is called Running in the 90s. I don't know if any of you have heard it.
No.
I'm going to take a quick detour real quick and just share my screen with it.
Am I going to hate this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Devin from the future again. So obviously we can't just play this music for you, but do yourself a favor and look up Running in the 90s by Max Coveri and just pretend that that's what you're hearing while we're reacting to it. Time travel. Can you hear it?
Oh no, I don't like this at all.
I think that's so good.
This is the worst thing I've ever heard. Can I turn this off yet?
Yeah, you can turn it off.
Okay.
Doesn't hit as well whenever you don't have like memes behind it.
I understand like why that's your choice though.
Yeah.
I have three choices. One is for me personally, and it would be Witch Witch by Florence and the Machine, because that's like my hype song lately.
Ooh.
So good. If you haven't listened to it, I recommend it at full volume. Maybe not driving 155 miles an hour.
Well, I'm gonna go reach 155 miles an hour so I can listen to the song.
You can only listen to it at that speed. My second
it doesn't actually play in your if you have car mode turned on unless the GPS is picking up 155 miles an hour.
Uh-oh, you're not driving fast enough.
Yeah, or when you reach 155 miles an hour, the assistant is like, "Would you like to play Witch Witch by Florence and the Machine?"
Yes. My second one is strictly for like ironic, like imagine you're driving 155 miles per hour. You can barely see things going by. You're in terrible danger. And all you hear is the Titanic theme song. It just feels really right in a wrong way, you know? And then
That's real good.
I also think that like the Mario Kart theme song would be good.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, like the Rainbow Road theme or something.
Yes.
Or just the Power Star.
I was just
music
about
that
to
plays
say,
every time you
yes.
get a Power Star.
I was thinking actually the star in like the original Mario. The dun, 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 dun,
I
dun, dun, dun.
think they do a recreation of that whenever you get the Power Star in Mario Kart.
Is it? Yeah, that's really good. I feel like that's way too niche. I don't know if that would ever be.
I don't know. I mean, it could go either way. I also think that
you have to pick one.
that "Kickstart My Heart" by Motley Crue would be a really good one. So now I'm kind of torn, but I don't know how 80s this list is going to be, and feel like my go-tos are very 80s.
What about the Final Countdown?
Oh, that's a good one.
That feels like I'm driving too fast.
If it was me in the car and I was listening to it, which this is not going to be my choice because this is not going to be on there, I would pick 1985 by Bo Burnham.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be my choice.
Somehow I don't think that'll be on the list. I also think Problematic is
that'd be a good one too.
That'd
be a good one. Very fast-paced. Judas Priest also has some really good ones. I don't know. Oh, it's so hard. I feel like Kenny Loggins is such a safe choice.
Yeah, well, if you think so, go with it.
But I feel like Motley Crue is also a safe choice. Well, what are you You're actually going to pick that song?
I'm picking Running in the 90s. We didn't get to the good part, but that's because it started way worse than I thought it did.
I'm going to do Kickstart My Heart because the tempo is higher. And hope that Kenny Loggins isn't on there.
I really want to do Mario Kart.
Do it!
I feel like it could be on.
It's not a bad
there.
answer,
Because-
right? All right, can I be
it's a good
broad
answer.
and say Mario Kart, like no specifics?
Oh, yeah. Because I feel like then if it's anything Mario Kart, I feel like that would count.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Although Lily got to say relationships as movie
did.
tropes that
I
annoy
did.
you.
This will be fine. I feel like we have our answers locked in.
Yep, locked and loaded.
Wait, Lily, did you go with Motley Crue or Kenny Loggins?
Motley Crue.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
The user Weenus Hunter says Freebird, of course.
Ew, gross.
I don't think I would play that at 155
Man,
miles an hour.
I should have known though, because everybody makes jokes about fucking Freebird or
Play
Slayer.
Freebird.
There's gonna be a Slayer song in here too, I bet. I hate it so
Yeah.
much.
Anyway,
Yeah.
here's Wonderwall.
Ooh. Bob is Burns Red. I don't know. It says Highway Star by Deep Purple. That's a really good one. Man, Kiss would have been a good one too.
Devin, are you kidding? You got the next
Hold
answer.
on. Okay, I haven't gone down that far. I was just thinking about, I bet, before we go even further than this, I will bet that within these next 7 or so answers, there's a Dragon Force song. Like Through the Fire and Flames.
Oh, yes.
Cat Leather 2884 has also been on the website You're the Man Now Dog back whenever it was not just an archived site and said running in the 90s.
I can't believe you right now.
It's because it's Eurobeat and I played just the intro for you guys, so you don't understand. 8 points.
I'm really happy for you. Our Cochrane 22 said Danger Zone.
I'm so upset right
Hey! Oh, dang it.
Because I didn't pick it. I picked Motley Crue instead. That's some trash.
That was your gut.
We got to learn to go with our gut.
So the next one, hey, is Broler Bear says, Kickstart My Heart is a hard song not to drive fast to. So
Hey.
you got it.
Was that your answer, Lily?
Yeah.
Oh, good
Lily,
job.
you identified 2 of them in the top 5.
It's
That's
because
what
I
happens.
am an
Our-
80s child.
Yeah.
A lot of these are 80s because the next one's also an 80s song.
Okay, well, 6 points to Lily.
Okay. Lily's at 25. 4. Lily's at 24. 6 plus 8 is 14. I'm glad we left me to do the mental math here. Feeling really good about it. Haven't made a single mistake, I bet.
Yeah, probably not. We only have this on record forever.
Someone's keeping better score. No, I think I got it. I nailed it. Leap 2 said Radar Love Golden Earring.
That's a really good one.
I don't know what that is.
It's a great song. You should listen to it sometime. And a
just
lot
might.
of these were definitely on my playlist as a teenager when I listened to like classic 80s rock. Like these were the songs that I chose whenever I was driving really fast, but not at
Whenever
155
you were
miles an
driving
hour.
155 miles an hour.
I'm not an idiot, so no.
Not anymore. You've seen
Not
it.
anymore. I've seen the light.
Mr. 10 Cents says, gas, gas, gas. I'm going to step on the gas.
Wait, what?
Which I suppose is another Eurobeat song.
Oh,
because
maybe.
The person who's commenting says, remember, listening to Eurobeat adds at least 50 more horsepower to your engine. And it's true.
Kilted Rambler says, I can't drive 155. I'm not sure if that's like a joke or a song or just a statement. Oh, I can't drive 55, but it's a joke because it's like, I can't drive 155. Ha, 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 ha.
DJ Walrus says Ace of Spades.
It's a good one too.
I feel like these are all just on your list, Lily.
No
Yeah, for
Mario
sure.
Kart, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't.
And then-
This is definitely a very 80s hair crowd that showed up for this. I was not anticipating that. I knew that Danger Zone would probably make it, but I wasn't sure about Kickstart My Heart. The last one, Tasty Tactical Trout, says Sabotage by Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
Yeah, I
nobody
guess.
said like any of the songs that were in The Matrix. Because
Oh,
for some
wow.
reason, the Beastie Boys made me think of that. And that's probably like, I don't know.
Like that. Like
If I
that
was in a
end
different
credits
zone, I
song.
would have totally picked that one.
Man.
Because those ones are very like fast driving songs and stuff.
Yeah. And instead, Sabotage was in Into Darkness as a classical music.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Oh, somebody did say Tokyo Drift soundtrack later. I was wondering if that would come up. As soon as you brought that song up, I almost told you that you should do that that dumb Tokyo song that was in
Oh,
Tokyo
yeah.
Drift. The really annoying one.
That's a real good one. I'm going to get out of this thread by saying that someone who's not in the top 10, but the next one that I saw mentions Mick Gordon Rip and Tear, which is the composer for the Doom games.
Oh, cool.
Oh, so there is a video game reference.
Yeah. So a video game reference made it in the top 11. It just wasn't Mario Kart.
That's surprising considering Mario Kart
would've-
is just racing.
I would have thought for sure.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I got to put on my disappointment chapstick. Is it wrong to put on chapstick like while I'm on camera? Sorry.
When you're no.
I'm also going to call more attention to it.
Well, I posted the Am I the Asshole? I can read it.
What the hell?
Posted by user Ketchup Inquiry. Am I the asshole for not participating in my friend's scheme to convince a restaurant to buy his ketchup? This person says, my friend Zoltar, fake name, has been obsessed with ketchup ever since I met him. He's always trying out different recipes to make his own ketchup and getting me and all our friends to try them. Recently, he made his best ketchup yet. I tried it. It wasn't bad. It was ketchup. Now he has decided he is finally going to break into the ketchup game.
You got to be fucking
Yes,
kidding me.
This is weird.
He is convinced he's going to launch his own ketchup company and grow it to be one of the top providers of ketchup in the US. He literally has a photo of Heinz ketchup on a dartboard. He throws darts at it and mutters things like, I'm coming for you. Anyways, he has a scheme he wants me and others to participate in. Essentially, it involves all of us going to a restaurant, sitting at different tables, and enacting lines from a scene he wrote that will culminate in all of us trying and loving his ketchup and convincing the manager to buy it. He wants us all to memorize lines. The gist of it is one guy is supposed to call over a waitress and say he likes the french fries but hates the ketchup. I'm supposed to lean in from another table and say, sorry to butt in, haha, but I have to agree. I'm tired of this old-fashioned factory-produced ketchup. Where's the real tomato flavor? After a few people do this, my friend is going to say, you guys won't believe this, but I'm a ketchup chef. Something no one's ever said. And I have a few samples. Would you like to give it a shot? At this point, everyone is supposed to try the ketchup and act astounded by it, and basically all exclaim it is the best ketchup they ever had. And I'm supposed to stand up on my table and make a trumpet sound effect and yell to the entire restaurant, "We have the best ketchup ever made over here. Everyone, come on over." One of the other people is supposed to go get the manager of the place, and we are all supposed to try and convince him or her to buy an order of my friend's ketchup. He's going to act surprised and embarrassed and try to tell us to stop putting this poor guy on the spot in regards to the manager. He then assumes he will make a huge sale, and he wants to do the same operation at other places in town. I told him, no way I'm doing this. I hate public speaking or acting and having attention focused on me. Also, the idea is just too dumb and crazy to me. I told him that straight up. He acted offended and said I am ruining his dreams. I'm astounded by this, but some of my friends agree and think he is showing hustle and that we should help him launch his ketchup business. Aside from his ketchup obsession, Zoltar is one of my best friends, but it seems our relationship is being ruined. A lot of people are telling me I'm a jerk for going against his dream and not helping out. So, should this man help his best friend follow his dreams?
What the fuck?
This one's kind of tough because, like, it's not just that he doesn't believe in his friend, but he also has a debilitating fear of public speaking, which is valid.
It's true. And he doesn't say that he has any sort of debilitating thing. He just says he hates public speaking and acting.
That's true. I added that in.
from your own self-experience.
Also, why doesn't this guy just go approach the restaurant? Why do you need your friends to like try to hustle the owner? Like, this seems really weird. It's a weird ask for a friend to ask.
I agree.
It is.
I
It's
feel
a
like
lot.
crazy neurotic ketchup guy is not being a very good friend by being basically trying to bully his friends in it and acting like they're not being good friends for not being coerced into being bullied or something. I don't know. It's weird. I don't like it.
I've never heard of a ketchup chef. Why?
Because it's not a thing.
I've never thought about making ketchup, but the thought of being a restaurant owner and having some guy come in and be like, "Hey, I make ketchup in my house. You should buy some." I would be like, "No, thank you. I'm good, thanks."
Yeah.
So I can see where he wants a big scheme to happen to have proof that this ketchup is good according to these random people who totally aren't my friends.
It's so clearly scripted, though.
Yeah.
It's very
They should have tried a
because
little
it is.
harder. It's a huge
Well,
ask.
he's a ketchup chef, not a writer.
Well, I looked up, is a ketchup chef a profession? And it does not appear that the internet has any idea what the fuck I'm trying to ask. Because
Well,
what is a ketchup chef?
well, then where's all this ketchup coming from?
You can't expect your friends, like, to support your friend. Hustling is one thing, but like, you can't like force your friends or expect your friends to scheme with you and go out of their way to try to do your hustle. Like, it's your hustle for a reason, right? They could buy the ketchup, but I think actually the friend is, the friend, I'm ruining his dreams. The friend is the asshole. That's my answer.
Yeah.
Final answer.
Yeah, fair enough. I feel like the user is definitely not the asshole for not participating in the scheme.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you shouldn't ask your friends to participate in schemes. Unless you're like, you and your friends are all doing something for a Danny Ocean. In that case, you can ask them to participate in your schemes, but they're going to get payout of $1 million+. So
Yeah, I feel like the ketchup guy is a huge diva and is kind of a bully.
what if he paid them?
That's different, but it's still a choice.
Right.
Like,
you can
should
still
be able to
ask
say no.
and offer, but you can't expect them to do it.
I think it would be an okay scenario if he wasn't expecting them to do it, if he schemed this up and then offered it as an acting gig and paid money for people to do it.
Right.
Also, can you just like picture this going down? I see this as working, like having complete opposite effect than what this Zoltar guy is
100%.
hoping for.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're like, okay, get out, please.
Exactly. It's
Like,
just
never come back, you
disruption.
creep.
They're probably going to laugh because like the lines aren't good. It's just going to make them look
Unprofessional and weird.
They lose all their credibility. Exactly. Like, if I have to take this seriously, then I think the sales tactic is piss poor and it's just going to make them look stupid.
Yeah, definitely makes me think of something that like Danny DeVito would be the actor for in the documentary film that gets made after this guy.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was easy. Sometimes we gotta squeeze an easy one in because of time. Speaking of time,
Speaking of squeezing ketchup.
speaking of squeezing one out, here's a life pro tip request that somebody's asking for.
Oh God, I need help with this.
Yeah, I can't.
Life pro tip request from Anamuna. How do I get up at the right time every day?
I don't know.
This one's for
I
you,
don't know.
Dev.
Oh no, none of us can give a life pro tip on
No,
that.
this one's for me. Easy. You just go to bed at the right time and just force yourself to bed. And then you'll start waking up at the right time.
I feel like
How do
he's
you
just
force yourself to bed? Don't you have bedtime? What's it called? Bedtime revenge? You
What?
know, sleep revenge.
That's what
What's
I
it
have.
called?
I stay up
What is
thinking
that?
about all of the things that I should have done that day and all of the anxiety for the things that I have to accomplish the next day. And then I keep thinking about the fact that if I stay up any later, I'm not going to get any sleep. And I'm only going to get X number of hours of rest at this point. And then I just keep staring at the clock and counting down the amount of time that I have left to sleep. And I
Yeah,
can't.
and,
It's
like,
so hard.
You know that like the sooner you go to sleep, the sooner all the stressful things that are coming tomorrow will arrive. So you like put them off by staying awake, but like it works against you because you get less sleep and you're more tired and it's harder to get up.
Yep.
No, that doesn't happen.
How, Devin?
Whenever it's bedtime, I just roll over and put my face in the pillow and go, it's time for nothing. And then-
It's called revenge bedtime procrastination.
Yeah, and Devin, you call yourself someone
Or
with
revenge sleep
anxiety.
procrastination.
oh yeah, I have anxiety, but it manifests in dreams.
No, I can't relate. My sleep is so affected by my anxiety.
Same.
There is one time when I can shut off my brain, and it's whenever my face is in a pillow.
Yeah, except that you're next to me, so I sometimes poke you and make you stay awake because I'm awake and I don't want to be. I don't want to be awake by myself.
Yeah, so I guess the answer is life pro tip request: how to get up in the right time. Be single. Also, if you read the thing posted by Anamuna, it says life pro tip request: how to get up in the right time. Which I believe the answer to that is stop toying around with time travel and just go to bed.
Don't be the doctor's companion.
Yeah, we've started watching Doctor Who, and it's
Yeah.
really great.
It's so great.
Oh.
How to wake up in the right time. Just tell the doctor
Yep.
that next time you wake up, you want to be in the right time.
Yep. Problem solved.
And then whenever you get to the right time, aliens will inevitably attack.
Yeah, that's what I've learned by watching Doctor Who.
Devin, I think you have to alter your answer because P.S. the problem is not the time I go to sleep because I go around 10:30 p.m.
If this person is having problems waking up at 6:30, then they're not going to sleep at 10 or 10:30 every single night. They're getting in bed because circadian rhythm, if you are asleep at this time and you need X hours of rest, after like a month of doing that, you will wake up at the right time.
What I used to do that I was more successful at in school is when I had like an analog alarm clock, I would hide it from myself every night before I went to bed in a different spot every night. So I'd have to like dig it out of a drawer to turn it off so that I would get up and get ready for school.
Yeah, that's like a good common piece of advice. I've never tried it because that would just make me too mad. If I have to get up, I get up. For me, I can't get up. Well, I don't get up like early on days that I don't have to. But like I always wish I would have. It's never like I can't. I do. I get up when I have to get up.
Yeah, I think
So-
what helps is also getting up early on days that you don't have to.
That's the thing.
I'm
'Cause
sure.
then it's just your standard. Also, we're thinking like we're giving advice 20 years ago, guys, but we need to be thinking like it's the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2023, where you can have a smart home and everything is smart and tied to your devices. So you can put timers on everything. You can make your lights turn on and start strobing at 6:30. You can turn on a Spotify playlist that's just recordings of you from the night before going, "Wake up! Get out of bed!" And then
What was that demon sound?
How did that just
You wake up.
happen?
it's just the recording that you have to make to have go off at whenever you need to get up. And then you'll be scared awake. And then you'll never go back to sleep ever again because you'll die from a heart palpitation.
I actually use the Govee lights that I have that like make a sunlight thing in the morning. It helps a lot.
That's cool.
I thought, Devin, you were going to say like rig your smart home to have a bed that like punts you out of bed in the
That's smart
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
What was that SNL skit? Do you remember that? Like, if you die in your sleep, the bed will punt you to the toilet, or oh no, the toilet will punt you to the bed if you die on the toilet.
Oh, so
Oh,
that no one
that's
comes
nice.
in and sees you dead on the toilet.
It's a classic skit if you haven't seen it. Yeah, it's like, don't be such an embarrassment by, you don't want your family to remember you as granddad who fell asleep on the toilet. So you get this toilet, and if it like senses that you died, yeah, it just
The toilet
punts you.
death ejector.
Yeah, so good.
Thanks for listening to Only Mostly Thread. If you like us, you can follow us on socials at Only Mostly Thread. And if you like us, consider supporting us on Patreon, because it really goes a long way for helping us make this thing a thing. And there's a lot of bonuses that you can get too, like access to the community Discord or juicy uncut episodes or whatever your heart desires.
And more toilet humor.
I'm still Devin.
I'm still Lily.
Still Sarah.
And remember, if you die on the toilet, you die in real life.
Well, yeah.